Alrighty, hey guys, how's it going? Thank you for coming on. So just before we jump into our next panel session, where we're going to look at I suppose how to kickstart your sales and marketing efforts again post lockdown. We're going to do that at the top of the hour. We've got Jennifer and Andy here from the Movement Gym. We're keeping it close to home here in Ireland again. The Movement is in two locations, both in Mayo in Ireland. Guys, how are you getting on? And thanks for joining us.
How you doing, Stephen? Thanks for having us. Cool to listen to all the guys I was listening to on the podcast over the lockdown. So it's brilliant, kind of just to see their faces and put kind of face to what we're listening to over the last couple of months.
Yeah, we've got the whole crew back together here today. I think for all corners of the world. Andy and Jennifer, I suppose first of all, like maybe give us a little bit of background on yourself. Andy, you've got a very interesting background, and folks from Ireland might know you the face already when they see you pop up on screen.
Well, yeah. Well, I suppose our background in the gym business is 2015. We opened our first gym in Castlebar, partnered with yourselves, and it's kind of just grown from strength to strength. A few shaky days along the way, but we kind of found what we were good at and kind of just built on it from there. My own background is I played, for the guys listening around, we've an amateur sport here in Ireland called Gaelic football. It's the GAA, it's called, so there's Gaelic football in hurling. I played Gaelic football and played that for the last decade or two, and it was a great journey. But it definitely helped when I was opening the gym and kind of the popularity of the sport around our hometown and our local county, and it was it definitely helped in terms of the popularity of the gym and getting it moving straight away.
Yeah, so the Movement is two fitness centres, as I said, located in Mayo. It's all about group functional training with you guys. What pushed you into that exact avenue, rather than going down the likes of franchise route or just opening a box gym? What sort of pushed you down that direction?
Yeah, the first gym we opened in Castlebar, we 2 floors on it. So the downstairs was a real functional area in terms of functional movement, guys coming in lifting weights. Upstairs was a class-based gym originally, and it was going well, but it just wasn't what we were about. We kind of, after about 6 months to about 18 months in, we discovered that we were really into the large group training in terms of the energy of it. The amount of the different kind of ranges in the public which you can kind of take into that area. Originally, when we opened, our identity, we didn't really know what we wanted originally. Like we didn't know if we wanted to go down aesthetics route, or we didn't know if we wanted to go down PT route. We kind of tried to do everything at once, but the classes is what we really got the energy off, and it was what we really got the kind of good feedback around Castlebar about. And then we just kind of grew it from there, closed down the functional training area, and then made a double kind of class-based area in Castlebar.
Do you think, going in when you first start off a fitness business, is it really important to actually have that niche found or try and decide on that niche rather than going in and trying to do a little bit of everything for everyone? It seems you sort of fell into it pretty quickly and you found your groove. Do you think it's better to go in with that laser vision at the start, or what do you think is the best approach, really?
I don't think there's any, and come in here, Jenny, if you want, but I don't think there's any right way to do it. I think it's about finding what you're good at. And we just found with the trainers that we got originally, like as we said, we're involved in a team sport called Gaelic football, and that's the kind of area of training we really liked. And an awful lot of our employees that work for us, we're all kind of, and a lot of our coaches, we're all kind of team-based athletes as well in the past. So that's the sort of area that we're kind of really comfortable with. To us too as well, in the west of Ireland, the PT model is great, but it was kind of burning up our hours in the day, where we could have got more people in, had more fun. Like when we find, I often say in Ireland, as you well know, Stephen, the pub is a very popular place in Ireland, and I think the gym and kind of little boutique kind of fitness areas like ourselves, box gyms like ourselves, are kind of a new way to socialise, a new pub, and we just kind of expanded on that kind of model, and we kind of just got it going. And the name itself, the Movement, comes from, I suppose, the way mental health has kind of taken over in terms of, not like absolutely not in popularity, but it's taken over in terms of people now are thinking about it. And the difference we were getting from our customers, the feedback we were getting was the difference it's made to my life, not just my kind of body shape and stuff like that, the way it's meant to our mind. We kind of, our philosophy is that we do our classes for our mind as much as our body.
So we were reopened about a month now in Ireland. I think 3-4 weeks. I think we've been able to reopen the doors in gyms around the country. post COVID for you guys, where is the focus, or what's on the horizon, or are you going to keep on with that hybrid model, or what's the plan down the road?
Well, it's changed considerably since COVID for us. So previously we would have been doing classes where we would have had up to 50 people in a class, with one or two coaches, where now we're limited with numbers. So we've completely changed the model. So what we've done is we've put on more classes. We're running them off both floors now at the same time, but there's a maximum of 8 on each floor. So we're taking 16 in a class rather than 50. Which is a huge difference, but it's very popular, and it's nearly like a small group training element to it, and the customers are absolutely loving it, which is probably going to be a bit of an issue for us when we want to start adding in more numbers at a later date. But the uptake has been huge. We didn't expect it, I don't think, to be as big as it has been. We've been at max capacity now for the last 3 weeks in most of the classes, with fully booked waiting lists, which is brilliant, and it's great to see people coming back in. We're hoping that we can increase the numbers just slightly in a safe environment. So the way we've it done is you're in your zone. So you have your 8 zones on the top floor, 8 zones on the bottom floor. You're booked into the class and you go into your zone, and every single piece of equipment lies in that zone. So you're always within your 2 meters apart from, at least, from the person around you.
So in a zone, Stephen, you could have your Versa climber, you could have your landmine, you could have your kettlebells, a slam ball, and maybe a spin bike there as well, and we do it normal, or 40 on, 20 off, or 30, 15, or however we do the ratio of rest to work, and it's worked really well. The biggest problem we have is, as Jenny said, the popularity is a bit, people are really liking this way of training, miss the social element of it a tiny bit, but they really like the way of training, and it's probably, I would nearly look at it as that we were not an adolescent company, we're in that phase where now this might mature us a tiny bit, and we might just have to rejig the model a tiny bit, and I think that's the way we'll go.
Cool. I'm just very conscious of time, so before we wrap up, one very quick question for you both. If you had one tip, one really, really short tip you could go to anyone who's opening or thinking of opening a fitness business right now in this incredibly challenging time to be in business, what would that tip be?
I think that the big thing COVID has taught us, so we would have our 2 gyms, and we'd also run a leisure centre as well, and the level of customer service you're given, it has to be 100% paramount. It's all about the customer. I think the biggest lesson we learned is think about it from the customer point of view. Think about what they want to see when they come in now in a post-COVID world. How do they want to be treated? How safe do they want to feel? Where do they want to go? So if you think about the financial side of it, I think you miss that slightly. And then the other thing I would say is have a system. We've really learned here since we've come back to work. I think our business is actually running better. Not financially better now, Stephen, but it's definitely running better in terms of our sharpness on time, our sharpness on classes, how we're dealing with the customer, how we get the customers in and out of the buildings, and all that, and our cleaning processes, everything are running better than we were pre. So there has been lessons in it, and hopefully we can build that, and as it gets safer along the way, we can build in as well and get back to where we were.
Well, Jennifer and Andy, we could talk all day about it. I'm so sorry it had to be so rushed towards the end there, but thank you so much for joining us right around the world today on Glofox Connect.